Great morning. Great morning. Great morning to all my listeners, my supporters, my subscribers, my family, my friends. It's a great morning. The topic today, I've been sitting and thinking about this all day. And let me help y'all out real quick here. I've been thinking about this all day, all night. It's been on my heart. It's been on my mind. And I realize how blessed I am. I realize that if it were not for certain things taking place in my life that some people may deem to be bad, I look at certain things as everything is meant to happen. If it didn't happen, it wasn't meant to happen. That's how I look at life. If it didn't happen, it wasn't meant to happen because everything happens for a reason. So I'm saying that to say that I ended up in prison for a crime that I did not commit. I ended up there for a crime that I did not commit. And some people would say, man, why aren't you bitter about that, man? If you didn't do the crime, how could you be so calm about it? And, I served 28 years in prison. So, served 28 years of prison in Michigan Department of Corruption. And I cannot allow myself to be controlled by that type of thinking. Because once I allow myself to be controlled by the anger of my incarceration, then that nullifies, throws away all of my achievements. That throws my entire life off. Everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. So I truly believe that. And some people, they may not agree with how I interpret things in life, but it's not for them to interpret how I see my life going. It's not for anyone else to interpret the things that I want to do in my life, right? It's not for anyone else to interpret, try to measure my pain. It's not for anyone else to interpret. What's up, Ty? I appreciate you, brother. And I've been watching you too, man. You know where we came from, man. And it ain't just where we came from. We know where we going. And that's what I'm trying to tell us right now. It's where I'm going that I want people to pay attention to. Because it's too often that brothers and sisters end up going to prison for bad decisions that they made in their lives or for whatever the reason may have been. Some brothers and sisters end up in prison for crimes they did not commit, such as my brother Tyrone Kemp, who just chimed in. That brother served over 20 years with me for a crime he did not commit. And I have never seen him bitter about it. Only thing I've seen him do is it motivated him to fight harder to get that criminal conviction up off his record. And that's where I'm at. I want us to understand that, yes, I did serve 28 years of my life in prison. Yes, I did. It didn't define me. And I honestly and arguably would say that going to prison saved my life. Going to prison saved my life. I can arguably say that. I didn't say going to prison saved my life. I said, going to prison arguably saved my life. In other words, there can be an argument to the contrary, or there can be an argument in support thereof. So personally, I feel like after everything that I've been through in my life, the things that I've done in my life, the stuff that I've seen, the places that I've been, prison definitely was a pivotal point in my life that arguably me going there arguably saved my life. I can give you all a perfect example of, we all know a situation to where we was just about to walk into a certain dangerous area or a certain pitfall in our life, a pothole in our life, but somebody caught our attention over there. Said, hey, and we turned that way and we avoided the danger over here because that welcoming distraction over there. And that's what prison was for me. It was a welcoming distraction. Would I wish it upon anyone? Absolutely not. But we're not talking about anyone. We're talking about the life that I know that I lived prior to prison and the decisions that I made prior to prison that led me up to life in prison. It was meant to go that way because I believe that had I not ended up in prison, it could be argued that I would have met my demise. It could be argued because I know the lifestyle that I was living. And the lifestyle that I was living was not conducive to seeing tomorrow. The lifestyle that I was living was not conducive to seeing tomorrow. You hear what I'm saying? The lifestyle that I was living, that I know that I was living, that people around me know that I was living, was not conducive to seeing tomorrow. So now I can arguably say that going to prison arguably saved my life. It arguably saved my life because in prison is where I found myself. In prison is where I grew up at. I don't shy away from my going to prison. I love to tell the story of my going to prison to people. I love it because I went from trial to triumph. And some of us, real people, real honest people, love a comeback story. And we understand that men and women in this world need a pattern for their lives because oftentimes we love to follow and not to lead. But let's keep in mind, because I've said this before, and this is a Friday, the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. So I'm going to say peace to all my Muslim brothers. I'm going to say praise God to all my Christian brothers. And I'm going to say bow down and praise all of the other prophets that we know of. I would be remiss if I did mention and acknowledge the presence of so many other prophets from other nations that help build nations of people. So again, my life took a turn. Yes, it took a turn for the worse. It's like driving down the street and you see this pothole and it's a trash can and you don't know if you can really squeeze between a pothole and a trash can, but you know that this pothole is so deep that you would rather take a chance on bumping the trash can a little bit than to fall into that pothole, because that pothole you may not be able to come back from. But nudging that trash can over some so you can get through may be just what you need to save you from the sure destruction of that pothole. So now, okay, so I ended up in prison. I wasn't very cognizant at the time. I was young, I was immature, I was angry and everything else. I just did not understand how could I end up in prison for a crime I did not commit. And I wasn't given 5 or 10 years. I wasn't given 20 or 25 years. I was given life without parole in prison for a crime that I did not commit. How? How did this happen to me? And a lot of those older brothers in the prison, they used to breathe on me. We call it breathing. When we teaching somebody, we call it breathing on somebody. Because when you breathe on somebody, you breathe in the breath of life onto somebody. Because somebody may have been in a dead state of mind, or may have felt down and depressed at the time, or may have felt somber, was in a somber moment of their life at the time. And they just needed somebody to breathe the breath of life into them. And so those old head brothers would breathe on me because they knew what they went through during their lifespan in prison. And a lot of them had life. And a lot of them had already been there 10 and 15 years already. I'm just coming in, 17, 18 years old. A lot of them guys already was 15 years into their life sentence. And sadly to say, a lot of those same guys who taught me to be the man that I am today are still in prison, fighting to get out of prison. But everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, and we must believe and have faith that the reasons for our shortcomings in life, it had to be a lesson behind it. It had to be a lesson behind it. Because things just don't happen without there being a lesson, a learning behind it. If you pay attention to some of the bad decisions you made in your lifetime, I don't care if it was just as a child taking a piece of candy or something out of this world criminal. If you look back at that decision that you made in that moment, there was a learning that happened before that we didn't pay attention to. That's why we end up still making a bad decision. And there was a learning that came immediately afterwards that we didn't take heed to. And so therefore, the greater learning came as we kind of grew into the personality that we are today, or at some point when we grew up. Just think about it. And I'm gonna give you a perfect example, y'all, because I love talking about this stuff because I understand that there's so many brothers and sisters going through it today. There's so many family members who just don't know what to do to help their loved one out that's in prison. They depressed. They not feeling good. Family members, they contact me all the time. And one family member recently contacted me. And she recently contacted me on Facebook. She followed me on Facebook, and she's a part of a lot of the groups that I'm a part of. Her son is serving a life sentence for a crime he did not commit. And she said, Demetrius, can you please contact me? She said, I just need to have a word with you because my son is going up for the parole board soon. And I just needed some advice on what to tell him to say or how to tell him to respond when he go up there. Unfortunately, her message to me got to me kind of late because he was seeing a parole board like the next day or something. And so me knowing that he had been in there around those teachers that taught me how to be the man that I am today, I was confident and just letting her know this here. I said, ma'am, he's around a lot of intelligent brothers who have been fighting for freedom for 10, 20, 30, 40, and some 50 years. My only advice to him would be that he be himself in front of the parole board. Just be yourself. Because the hardest thing that I ever had to do in my life, was be somebody that I was not. It took so much energy. It took so much time out of my life. It took so much realness out of who I was because I had to be fake. I had to fake it so much because I was being somebody that I wasn't. And so many people around were amazed by that facade because they didn't know. And then you had some people, that's me in that picture. I was in prison then. That was like 2000, I want to say 2004. That's almost 20 years ago now. And so I love to see brothers in their own skin. I love to see sisters in their own skin. I'm not scared to tell somebody that I was incarcerated. Listen, I'm not scared to tell my story. Listen, my story, and we all have a story. But it goes back to what I said about everything happens for a reason. My story may differ from the next man's story or the next woman's story, but it's a story nonetheless. My story may be used to help redirect or save a life, whereas your story may help to give perspective on life, may help to give perspective in a certain field of life, medicine or whatever it was. Because we have people who's going through some stuff. I know some sisters who've been through some very traumatic experiences with this hurt me when I even think about it. Sisters who have been through rape, who have been through prostitution. And your story means something to somebody. Your story is going to save somebody's life. Your story is going to save somebody's life. Somebody needs to hear your story. And sometimes the therapy that we most need is to tell our story. That's why I say going to prison arguably saved my life. Going to prison, I met brothers. I met some great-minded brothers who man, they had patience with me. They sat me down, talked to me for long, hard hours when I was just being a knucklehead. And they sat and talked with me. They was patient. They was patient. And it's through those brothers and some of those sisters, some of the sisters that I speak of as my family members, because when I was in prison, I think I got a visit by a guy one time out of 28 years, one time. And over the 28 years, it was my female family members who visited me. And so I definitely give so much honors and props to our sisters, man. I give honors and props to our sisters. And I still say, going to prison arguably saved my life, because going to prison put so many things in perspective for me. It opened my eyes to so many things. Going to prison allowed me to meet so many great minds who were once thrown away. Going to prison helped remove any indoctrinated stigmas that had been a part of my psychological makeup prior to me going to prison. So going to prison definitely was an eye-opener for me. It was an eye-opener for me, and some of us in the walk of life that I travel, we refer to prison as a university. As a university. Because we know that in prison, we know that in prison, I was just reading some of the comments on my Facebook page from one of the guys I grew up with. This guy knew me when we was in like the first grade together, kindergarten together. And so he knew me and my family. He know where we came from. I see you right now, man. About time. There you go, Marcus, man. You should have called me, man. I can't hear you.
I was listening to you.
You on mute or something?
I'm trying to think.
I can't hear you.
I think you got me on mute.
Let me make sure.
You got me on mute.
I don't have you muted.
You got it. You got it. Well, it says I'm not muted on here. Can you hear me now?
All right. I can't hear you. So log out and come back in.
Can you hear me now? How you do this?
And make sure your speaker is on. So one of my childhood friends, Vance Murray, you know, he chimed in and he seen the topic of discussion today, and he said, my guy, the same thing I said about myself. See, because going to prison for some of us arguably saved some of our lives. You know, and I used to hear a few stories while I was in prison about the brother Vance. You know, when you start getting a little bit of money, you know, that dot get on your back, that X get on your back. And it's kind of just a matter of time at that point. Once you become a target, it's just a matter of time. And so, you know, I commend that brother right there, Vance, man. I ran into him in prison. We kicked it, chopped it up, man, reminisced. I commend him. He's a living testament to what I'm talking about. Say something now.
You know?
I don't know what it is, brother.
It's on your end.
I don't know what it is. It's not on my end. It's not on my end. Let me see something. It's definitely not on my end. I'm about to send you my link on TikTok right quick and see if you could get on this TikTok link.
All right.
And we're going to go from there. Let me know if you received that. I just sent that to you. All right. So that's my brother right there. Then I got my brother, Dion Rigonneal. You know, he's another living testament of what I'm talking about. He said the thought is the cause of it all. And that's one of my slogans that I put on my cover page. The Great Minds Project 5.0, the thought is the cause of it all. What is the thought is the cause? What is the thought the cause of? The thought is the cause of it all. So now, this is why I could say and sit here and say that going to prison arguably saved my life. It arguably saved my life because it's a reason why I made the bad decision that I made at the time that I made it, at the place that I made it. It's a reason. Because something needed to be done in my life, or I was doing something in my life that kept me out of the realm of civility, that kept me out of the realm of peace, that kept me out of the realm of humanity. It was something that I was doing in my life. So now, we'll try you again, Marcus.
Can you hear me now?
Man, I don't know what's up with you, man.
That's yours, man.
You can hear me though.
Yeah.
All right, let me see, man. If you can hear me, I don't have you muted. I don't have you muted at all. And yeah, I don't have you muted. So
it say not muted now. Hold.
Okay. Now I muted you.
Yeah.
Now I'm unmuted.
The host unmuted you. Yeah, but it said host unmuted me now. But I don't know.
Did you get my link on TikTok?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come in on TikTok. Because I'm asking everybody to please share out my live right here. Share out my live on TikTok. TikTok has given me a warning. They got my account under warning because they say that I post too many videos of violence. But yet I don't promote the violence. I talk about the violence and how we must end this violence. But for whatever reason, TikTok has said that they have given me another strike, and now they're warning me. They're trying to censor me, you know, because I post these videos. Well, I just say this here. I just say it like this here. They never been in our shoes either. I say that to TikTok and whoever else. They never been in our shoes. They never been traumatized by the type of violence that we've been traumatized by. They've never experienced being kidnapped from their motherland, placed on slave ships in chains. And if the slave ship is a little too heavy, being thrown overboard and fed to the sharks. All the while, your family members and friends sit and watch this happen. They see you being thrown over and you're chained to multiple people. So when you go over, everybody on your chain link goes over with you. And your family and friends just sit there and they never see you come back. Their last memory of you is that you was thrown overboard. See, the creators of TikTok never experienced this. They never experienced being distributed to islands and slave fortresses around the world before finally settling in a few different countries to be brutally battered, beaten, and sent to your demise. They never experienced their women and their men being brutally raped, battered, and beaten in front of the children. They never experienced that. They never experienced being forced into labor. Being forced into labor, and if you do not do as they say, then you get whipped across your back so bad that the whip tears into the skin to the meat of your body. They never been through that. They never been through it to where you're hanging from a tree and you just being whipped and whipped in front of your loved ones. You're being paraded through a town with whips on your back like it's something out of a movie. They never suffered that trauma. They never suffered the trauma of being brought over here and still, to this very day, being treated as 3/5 of a human being. In other words, you're not even a whole human being. I don't have to respect you as such. They never experienced that. They never experienced drugs being dropped in the epicenter of minority communities. They never experienced that. So when we talk about people like me, what's up, Marcus?
I gotta go, man. It's
Let me
just,
see, man.
wait.
You went out and came back in. You definitely connected. Say something.
What up, though?
I don't know what it is. Last time you just came right on.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm finna try to do it from my phone. Hold on.
It's live. Go to my TikTok page.
Working yet?
Look me up on TikTok. I sent you an invite anyway. I'm about to send you another one.
Can you hear me?
I'm about to send you another one right now. Marcus, boom. I'm about to send one to my man, Alan Rufa Bay. Let me see. No, Alan, you're gonna have to just ask me to let you in. So again, TikTok want to censor me because they say I post videos of violence. I post videos and I entitled these videos Despicable Behavior, stuff like that. And I hashtag stop the violence. I hashtag respect black women. I hashtag these type of things because this is where I'm at. I don't glamorize this stuff. I don't glamorize this stuff. I don't glamorize the destruction of my people by anyone. I stand for, stand with, advocate, and promote the uplifting of humanity, not the tearing down of it. And so, again, they want to censor me. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. Censor me, because if it's one thing that I learned through my studies and my teachings, is to fear nobody at all. There is nothing that can be done to me today that they, the system, hasn't done to me and my people over the last 400 years. Nothing. So they've been trying to censor us. They don't want us to talk about slavery. They don't want us to talk about the trauma that we've suffered as a result of the generational aspect that slavery and impact that slavery has had on us. I'm all right with that, but I'm going to talk about it though. And every chance I get, if it's a protest, I'm going to join it. When it's talking about uplifting people, when it's talking about people standing up, when it's talking about raising up and honoring and respecting human rights. Because I understand. This is why it's so easy for me to say that going to prison arguably saved my life. Okay, let me see. All right, we got some people smoking some weed. I ain't want nobody smoking no weeds, you know. I don't smoke no weed, but I'm all right with it. I ain't judging nobody. Believe me, I'm not. I'm not judging anyone. Can y'all hear me? Because I can't hear nobody. Can y'all hear me? I cannot hear anyone on here. Why can't I hear any of y'all, but y'all can hear me? Hold on. Why can't I can't hear anyone? Oh, I would have to follow y'all back. Then we can go live together. All right. I can't hear y'all. I see your speaker. Your speaker is on. Your speaker is on. Your speaker is on. So maybe it's something that I'm doing. Because I have some people right here on my TikTok. I have 3 people that I cannot hear. But you all can hear me. Wow. Maybe it's something that I'm doing. Let me check my. But if you can't hear me on TikTok, he can't hear me on Facebook. So it's something that I may be doing because I am not the sharpest guy when it comes to technology. I'm not. I understand that. I'm not the sharpest guy when it comes to technology. And I do. We're gonna straighten this out real quick. I'm gonna figure some stuff out. because I would like to hear what you all's take are, because I see the young brother in the background. He on his phone. I don't know what the hell he talking about. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. He blowing trees and stuff. Where you from? If there's anybody on my live feed that could give me some direction on what may be wrong, why I can't hear people on my TikTok, please let me know, because this is usually, there they go. I can hear y'all now. Oh, y'all in Africa. So all right, well, listen here. Okay, listen here. Can y'all hear me? I have a question. Do you know what my topic is today? Do you know what my topic is today? I know. Obviously, you do not know what the topic is. The topic is that prison arguably saved my life. Going to prison arguably saved my life. Right? Okay. I understand. There you go, brother. There you go. I said, going to prison arguably saved my life. You all must be in a group together, right? For my listeners on Facebook and YouTube, I'm talking to some people that you all are from Africa, right? What part of Africa are you from? Nigeria? You Nigeria too? And where the brother from? Nigeria too? Okay. Where you from, brother? Okay, Nigeria. Okay, okay. All right. I love Nigeria. I love Nigeria. And so I was on here talking about, I had went to prison for 28 years of my life. I was in prison for 28 years. And I was talking about, yes, 28 years of my life. And so I was talking about how, had I not gone to prison for those 28 years of my life, I possibly would not be living, because I possibly could have died. You know? So hold on one second. You say put him on speed. I'm surprised you can't hear him ringing in. My crime was being black. Black. Yes. Yep. Being black was my crime. Okay, one second. I'm gonna get them in. He's saying that his crime is. Can you hear him now? He's a black Can you hear him now? Rigonil? Yes, that's what they do to people when they don't like people, when the government don't like people. When the government don't like people, they degrade us. They dehumanize us. They try to take our value away. And so just for my Facebook and YouTube listeners, you all can only hear them. You can't see them. It's 3 individuals on my feed, all 3 from Nigeria. I didn't hear you. Say that again. You can hear me, right? Okay. So, do you all have a group in Nigeria that you all are a part of? Yeah, group. Like a TikTok group, TikTok or Facebook? Okay. So you all are part of a group.
Yeah, I have TikTok and Facebook.
Okay.
Instagram also.
Okay. Nigeria in the house.
Okay.
So how old are you, young man?
Young man, like my video. Ain't asking you how old are you?
How old?
27.
Oh, 27. And how old are you, young lady?
Me?
Yes.
I'm 21.
21. And how old are you, young lady?
I'm 24.
21? Okay.
24.
Oh, 24. Okay.
Yes.
So you all asked me, what did I do to go to prison, right?
Yeah.
And I told you that I just had the wrong skin tone. Right. Yes, because had I been a white person, I may not have even been arrested.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I hear you.
Because of the wrong skin tone, that's why you went to prison.
I went to.
How is that possible?
1 second.
Where is your country, please?
Michigan did not pass the good time bill for Ada, who just chimed in. Well, I went to prison. For first-degree murder.
But America have blacks American.
Yes, I went to prison for first-degree murder. I did not commit the crime, but I still went to prison. And so.
Stop saying wow. I thought that America has blacks.
Yes.
Calm down now. Allow him to explain. Okay.
America.
At the end of the case, you win the case, right?
No, I didn't commit the crime.
Yeah, you didn't commit the crime, but you later win the case.
You want me to ask her what, Dion Rigonil? You say, ask her what is person like there.
That's what he said, because he didn't commit the crime.
Well, it's like.
For 200 years.
But how many years?
200 years. Please, how old are you? Sorry. How old are you?
I'm 50 years old.
Huh?
50.
I swear. This way on my conversation, you
50.
How old, please?
I am 50 years old.
How old? What's your age?
I am 50 years old. I was in prison for 28 years.
28.
Yes. So I am 5'0".
50.
Yes.
Wow.
What
You
is?
spent like 25 years in prison.
I didn't hear you.
You spent like 25 years in prison.
28 years.
28 years.
Yes.
Oh my God.
How is prison over in Nigeria? What is prison like over there?
When you went to prison, how old are you?
I'm 50 years old right now.
I know. When you went to the prison, how old are you then?
17 years old.
17.
17.
Yeah. 17, yeah. Right?
Yes. So what is prison like over in Nigeria?
I don't know. I haven't been to prison before, so how
I
would I know?
I don't mean you don't have to have gone to prison, but I'm sure, do you know someone who's gone to prison before?
No, I don't know. I haven't been there to visit someone or no. So I don't know how prison looks like. Except in the television.
Okay.
Except when we are watching Nigerian movie, they can show it in television.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, young man?
Wait. Let me tell him what I want to hear. Yeah. I want to tell you something. I want to tell you how prison here in Nigeria look like.
What does prison in Nigeria look like, young man?
Let's doctor, please. Let's stop.
The prison here in Nigeria is fucked up. It's so fucking dirty. Replaced.
You say it look messed
Yeah,
up?
you're right.
Replaced look like waste bin.
Yeah.
What did
Don't say like that.
what did he say it look like?
No, that is for poor people. Let me tell you. I've watched Nigerian prison. Yes, let me tell you. They have prison in Kuje. Again, they have prison in Kuje. No, wait, let me tell you. They have prison before. But it's very nice, but you know that it's expensive. It's expensive. No, still, let me tell you, depending on the one you have been to. They have Kuje prison. It's very expensive. It's for high-caste people. And it's very, very clean.
Can y'all hear them?
It's secure. Everything. 24 hours lights. Everybody. Just that you won't have access to go outside. Kuje prison. You can check it on your phone.
Can you hear him ring there?
Just check it.
Let me tell you. Come.
Jesus Christ.
Can you listen to me?
I'm running out of stuff, please.
So
I'm running out of stuff. I don't have stuff anymore. Please.
so the prison over in Nigeria, they have a prison. So they have a prison in Nigeria for people who have money, right? And then they have a prison for poor people.
They have their own prison. If you went there, I've seen it in television, even when they exactly one of our president, the place is okay. But just that you won't have access to go outside. People can come and do anything that will show in television, that will go there, make that place neat. Keep it neat. Then after doing the video, you can make research with your phone. Make research with your phone. Make research with your phone. People, it's not that they are watching movie. No. Make research with your phone. It's because of why they did that one. Why they keep that one clean is because of that one is the one that they are showing on television. But although other prisons, you went to prisons. It's not that they are showing it on phone. Use your phone. Just search for Kuje prison. You can be long. You will see the place. That's what I'm telling you now. Because they are showing it. They are showing it.
I'm just listening to them, y'all.
They're using that one for all these new things now.
One person speak at a time. One One person speak at a time. We can't hear everybody at once.
Television, make some research with your phone.
So I heard her say, I heard her.
You can make research with your phone and see what I'm saying. Okay, let me just ask you. Is it just that one now? That one that they are saying now. Is it the only one that is mixed? Because they are using it for something now. No, that is Big Bang Prison. It's not how. I understand me. I've been to prison. I've been to Dubai prison. Yes. I can tell you how the prison looks like. Why? Because I have been there. I have the experience. So I can tell you how their prison looks like. But this one I'm telling you is today prison. It's not all. It's not all.
I see what I got to do for them. No more. I know what you're saying. I see what I got to do for them. I put them on mute and let one speak at a time, because they're gonna. I understand the culture. You know, they can hear each other when they speak. We not that we don't hear like that. Here they go. The other one is just cracking up right now. Hold on.
Prison. I still dating like Nigeria. Yes.
No, Michigan did not pass the good time bill.
So let me just tell you the facts. Even in Dubai, there's some prison that is dirty. Even Nigerian prison is better than them.
So you say Nigeria prison is better than where?
I'm telling you, in UAE, there is some prison whereby Nigeria is better than them. I know what I'm telling you.
Wow.
I've been there. I witnessed with my eyes. When I went to Kirikiri was very clean.
She said there's some prisons in Nigeria that's better than over here.
It's not up even from all this one there. They will be saying that place is blood, this one. But the main thing is that they won't starve you like Nigerian people. They will not starve you like Nigerian people. They will provide food for you 24/7 for you to eat. Oh. Yes.
So it's a lot of poor people that go to prison in Nigeria, or are they fair when they convict people and send people to prison in Nigeria?
What? Can you come again? What do you say?
Do they only send poor people to prison in Nigeria, or is the court system fair to where whoever, no matter how much money you got, if you're wrong, you're wrong?
No, they do send everybody to prison. Yeah, depending on what you commit, depending on your crime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So hold on.
Sometimes you can prison being innocent. Yeah. Yes, you can go prison being innocent. Maybe you don't have money to further the case, or maybe the person that you are having case with have money more than you. Right.
So you do know someone who's been to prison?
Like, let me just tell you the facts. There is when I went to court here in Lagos State. Do you get me? So during the court, even my lawyer, the lawyer that would sue, I didn't commit it. I didn't commit the crime. So, but though we are going to the court, even my lawyer was not saying anything. The day of the judgment day, they will not see, my lawyer won't come. Because the problem I was facing is with a police lady. So they saw the case as in the case is beyond them.
Okay.
They told me that I'm not doing case with any other person, but I'm doing case with federal people. That's police people.
Okay.
So the lady who took me to court, she's not coming to the court because she's a police lady. So now they have police, can you hear me? Police prosecutor is the one standing for them. during the case, the lady will not appear. It's police prosecutor that will appear.
Okay, she wouldn't appear.
Judge will now adjourn my case. Yes, they will adjourn my case till maybe next month. I will appear to the court again. But meanwhile, the person I'm having case with, she is not coming because she is a police lady. It's only the prosecutor is standing for her.
Okay.
So meanwhile, I was going to that court. I'm married. Yes, I have one kid. I'm going to the court. It's even my husband now took another lawyer. The lawyer now stands for me. The day of the last judgment, they asked me, "Are you guilty or not guilty?" I said, "I'm not guilty." They said, "Okay." They play charges. Wow. They say, "Why you will bring somebody who have property in Lagos State?"
Can y'all hear this on Facebook?
You will bring 2 shorty. That's what they give me. 2 shorty. If I did not provide those shorty, the magistrate will not play the charges against me. Maybe she can tell me, maybe go and serve 3 months, go and serve 5 months, go and serve maybe 1 year, because I didn't provide those shorty.
Right.
So if my husband then now took another lawyer, the lawyer my husband now took now brought another charge and bail lawyer. Is that one that provide those 240 people that will stand for me? That if I was, this thing I'm telling you, I'm still in the station. It's from the station I'm going to the court.
Wow.
So now what my husband was fighting is for them to release me from the police station so that I will be coming to the court from home.
Okay.
So now they have to tell me that I have to bring 2 shorty. I have to provide 2 shorty before they will free me. Which will now bring the 2 shorty. When they bring the 2 shorty, one stand for me, one have a property in Lagos State, one you will bring your bank statement, driving license, the second one. Okay, at the process, they now took it to the court, they show it to magistrate. Magistrate still play me charges. In case if I run, my shorty, they will pay 300,000. In case if I run.
Right.
Then they will pay 300,000 if I run. They stand for me, and they still pay those shorty because that is their job. That is what they are doing. They pay the 2 shorty. They pay them 700,000 naira. 2 of them is about 240,000 in Nigerian money. Yes, because they stand for me that they know this lady will not run, even though that she run away. You people should come and hold us. That's why they stand for me. Okay, now when I now came back, they just free me. They sign my bail bond. They free me. They say, okay, we will be coming from home to the court. Any day that you have court. You know, if not, that is, maybe let me just say that is God just do it that way. Because I have been to court. Okay, they released me. Yes, I was coming from house to court, from house to court, more than 10 times. Wow. This case, I'm telling you, maybe it's like this year that we'll have this case, but the case ends next year. Next year.
Okay.
Let me say, this year happened like 2015. The case now ends on 2016.
And it's fine.
Do you know what's the problem? After everything, they have to pay the magistrates.
Okay.
Yeah. They paid magistrates. Even judge, they paid judge. They paid all of them. I'm not guilty, but you know why? I have somebody who is standing for me. Assuming maybe I do not have anybody that will provide those people that will stand for the shorty and bring lawyer for me. At the end, I will go to prison. Yes, that's it.
Okay, so how did the case get resolved?
But just that he was like, I don't want her to. I know that she didn't commit this crime, but for peace to reign, this is what I want. I just want people to free my wife.
Okay.
Before my husband now paid money. When they paid money, that same day I'm telling you, we came court. My husband was like, we now went to meet police prosecutor. I told him, sir, I'll be coming to this court. The lady I'm having issue with, she's not coming. The man now told me that She will not come. I'm standing for them. I'm police prosecutor. If you want me to close this case today, just give me only 50,000 naira. I will close the case.
Wow.
I was like, my husband now said, you said I will give you this 50,000 naira. You will close this case. The man said, yes, today, they will terminate this case. My husband did transfer for him.
Okay.
Yes, my husband did transfer for him. Do you know immediately the magistrate called my name? The police prosecutor now stand up. Yes, he you know what he told the magistrate? That I've settled with the lady. That the lady is no longer interested in the case.
So
you know what magistrate told me? Go and sin no more. I didn't commit any sin. I didn't commit any crime. Nothing. But just that my husband was there. Assuming maybe I did not have anybody to come and further that case for me, they will sentence me to prison.
wow.
Something I did not commit.
So you were So you were sentenced to prison.
So this is Nigeria. Maybe sometimes something you did not do, but due to maybe you don't have anybody to stand for you, or maybe by the grace of God, maybe they might even play you guilty.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you are innocent. Yes.
So you was.
That's it. In a block, they have nice place in there. They still have the place that is not good. Same here in Nigeria. Some of our presidents said there's the case that they will have if they want to sentence them to prison. It's not their own prison are different.
Yes.
From people that they don't have money.
Because if you had money, you would not even have ended up in jail, right?
Yes.
And then they gave you a bail?
Yes. They gave me a bail, yes.
How much was your bail?
That's what I'm telling you. They gave me a bail of 300,000.
And they know that you don't have money, but they give you a bail for 300,000.
Yes, they gave me, but you mean the bail they gave me is that if I run away, my shorty, they will pay, not me.
Yes.
If I run away, if they didn't see me again in the court, my shorty have to pay.
Yes.
Because they are the ones standing that they know this lady. So if you free this lady from police custody to go to her house, that she will be coming to the court. She won't run.
Okay. And now, how long ago was that?
I was like, let's say I spent in police cell like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Can
police cell 3 weeks before they free me.
I want to ask you this question. What did you learn? What did you learn from that experience?
Huh?
What did you learn from that experience?
That's last 2 years. Yes. Last 2 years. 2022. No, 2021. Yes. Because we closed the case, that was last year, 2022.
So what I'm asking you is that what lessons did you learn from that?
The lessons I learned is that, like me now, I didn't do the thing that they said I did, you understand? So being in Nigerian police custody, which I will never pray, even me or my sister or anybody to be there, you understand?
Yes.
Because you don't have a free of speech.
Got you.
Even when they know that you are saying the right thing, they will turn it against you.
Got you. I understand
so my
that.
lesson I learned there is that anything that would like me, like if I'm going on the road, maybe you are trying to make problem, I will avoid you.
Okay.
Yes. I will avoid you. Because I don't want the experience I have, because the place was dirty, was messed up. Being that we that went there in the police cell, we are the one that was cleaning it, making it to be good, because we are still there for that moment. But when we came inside that place, everyone was messed up. So even my enemy, I can't pray for my enemy to go there. Yes.
So you wouldn't wish that upon your enemy?
No, my enemy cannot go there, please.
Okay, I understand. And so now, are you a better person because of what you went through?
No. right from when I went there, I will not say that I'm perfect or I'm not perfect, but I'm who am I? You understand? I don't claim to be what I'm not.
No, I simply mean from the lessons that you learned from going to jail. Are you a better person because of the lessons that you learned?
No, I didn't go for the jail now. I didn't go for jail.
You
It's
was
just
in,
prison. It's not prison I went to. Yes, it's
You-
not jail.
you was in prison for 3 weeks, three weeks, right?
No, not prison.
You was in
Prison is
jail.
different from police custody.
You was in jail for 3 weeks.
Yeah, this one is police custody.
But you was
It's not the main prison.
but you was locked in a room, right?
Yes.
For 3 weeks.
Yes, for 3 weeks. Yes.
Now, after you got out of that room and you was able to go home,
Yes.
and you look and you think and you look back to those 3 weeks that you was there, right? Can you say now that you are a better person now than you were at the time when you went in there for those 3 weeks?
I'm always a better person. Yes.
Okay.
I'm always a better person. I'm just me.
That's good.
Yes. Just that even the police people I have issue with, somebody arrested me. Somebody came to our shop and brought goods. So
Okay.
he did transfer and we did not see any money. He started calling people. Do you get? So when we now get to the police station, the person have to make entry. So we are trying to make our own statements. Police said no, that we cannot make statements. They slapped me, yes, and me and the lady who started having issue.
It's lying.
They now said I don't have case with the person that brought me there again. That I have case with them because I fought with her. You
Right.
see, the case that brought me there, they did not even bring up the case again because I only have problem with the police lady. She told me that I should not say anything or she will slap me. I said, ma, but I have to say something. She slapped me, yes.
Wow.
The case that brought me there, they did not talk about the case again. They now said I assault them.
Okay.
So that's Nigerian police for you. Even when you are right, they will still prove you wrong.
But but as long as you learn something from your experience, that's all that really counts. Is that you learn something from it so you can help teach somebody else not to do it and not to go through what you had to go through, right?
And I'm always a better person. Yeah, what did you say, please?
Huh?
What did you say? Sorry, what did you say?
I say as long as you learn something from it, now you have some insight to give someone else if they're going through it. Now you have something to help somebody else with. So that's good. And I wish you the best. I wish you the best because the same things that you all go through over in Nigeria, we go through over here in America with the police and the police system. You have a lot of people who are locked up for crimes they didn't do. And then a lot of people who are locked up for crimes that they didn't do, but they don't have enough money to defend themselves. And so they end up going to prison because they don't have enough money. So it seems like that's the same problems over there. As if you do not have money, then they just say to hell with you. So, but I thank you for chiming in. I gotta get ready to close my show down, but I definitely appreciate you and your friends for joining on to the show and providing us some Nigerian insight with you all's accent and whatnot. And I wish you the best. And you will be seeing my shows going live on here. So I don't mind you coming in, because I can kind of understand everything that you're saying. And I appreciate your insight and your advice on this matter. Okay?
right. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Take care. All right. Bye.
All right, y'all. So I'm going to say that was an interesting conversation. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that, but that was a very interesting conversation from a young lady over in Nigeria who was arrested for a crime that she did not commit, who was placed in jail for a crime she did not commit. They tried to give her a $300,000 bond when they knew she didn't have money, so she couldn't pay the bond. She needed a bail bondsman. And now they wanted $50,000. And she said that over in Nigeria, if you don't have money, you're placed in a whole different category, a prisoner. And I know that sounds so familiar to us in the United States. If you don't have money, the system say to hell with you. And then if you do have money, the crimes that you commit are now lowered or mitigated because you have money. You privileged. So we definitely appreciate that young lady telling her story, because I did not know anyone in Nigeria was even listening to me. So to have three young people from Nigeria chime in and log into my show, that was a blessing to me, because first of all, they're young. They're young. That means a lot. That should mean a lot to all of us, that we have young people. And then the amazing thing about it is that they came on to the show having some familiarity with what the show was about. So this means that they must have followed some of the show in order to say, well, let me get on there. And at first, they were kind of confused because, the language barrier and the interpretation of words. The way that we say things is not the way that they interpret things, because they say things differently and we interpret them differently. You all understand what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciated this young lady's input and her telling us her story, and she talked about how her husband tried to fight for her, but he was just a person. He was not some person of wealth either. And that someone else would put the money up to the bail bondsman, and their bond system over in Nigeria is set up the exact same way as over here, that it's the bond is put in place for this person, so this person don't run. If they should end up running and not going back to court or coming to court on a case, whoever put the money up lose their money. So they have that same system in place. They have the same system in place of corruption from the police perspective, to where they harass people. That's what she said. She had a problem with the police, and she had these problems, and it escalated, and she ended up being arrested for 3 weeks. She's in jail for 3 weeks. She have a child too. So she's in jail for 3 weeks. Can't see her child. She's in jail for a crime that she did not commit. Can't see her child. So I asked her, what lesson did you learn from being in there? And she told me that she learned a lesson from being in there. Even though she didn't commit the crime, she still learned a lesson, because she understands that as a mother, she needed to be with her child. As a wife, she needed to be with her husband. She understood this. She understood. All right, brother. She understood that things happened in her life, and also being sent to jail for those 3 weeks really opened her eyes to the fact that she do not have money. She do not have money. She's not one of the elect. She's in a fight for her life. She understood that. But she said that Coming out of all of that, she came out a better person. Coming out of all of that, being placed in jail for 3 weeks for a crime that she did not commit, being taken away from her husband, being taken away from her child, placed in that jail cell for 3 weeks for a crime that she did not commit. She said when she was released, she felt good, but she knew that she was a better person. And that's what I say right now. After serving 28 years in the Michigan Department of Corruption, I can say that I entered that place bitter because I did not understand. Not understand them, I didn't understand me. I didn't understand my purpose in life. I didn't understand it. And because I didn't understand that, I pointed the blame to everybody else but me. But as soon as I began to understand that, everything began to make sense to me. And slowly, the good of who I am began to resonate, began to take a hold of me. And it was then that I began to grow and blossom into the young man that I am today. It took time. It took time for me to become the foul individual that I had become early on in my youth. It took years of indoctrination, years of mental poisoning, years of bad decision making. It took years of this for me to become the threat to society that I had become at that point in my life. But after I began and I found the antidote, and people gave me the antidote, prescribed the antidote to me on how to recognize the wrongs that I made, accept accountability and responsibility for the wrongs that I made. After I learned these things and I accepted these things as being true, I found out who I was, who I am. And I began to pour my energy into who I am, as opposed to pouring my energy in who I was claiming to be. And that's when I grew up and became this brother that you're hearing speak today. With that, I'm going to close with saying peace and love to those within the sound of my voice. And for those who did not hear the sound of my voice, I said pass along the message because someone needs to be inspired.